Next we have the most fundamental of our core exercises, our sit-ups. I'm going to do a very standard sit-up, which involves me lying flat on the ground, arms slightly behind my head, backs of my hands are going to touch the ground. I'm going to bring those hands up till the palms of my hands are touching my knees, and I'm going to repeat. I'm going to try and keep that continuously going for a full minute. If you can't do it for a full minute, stop, take 3 really deep breaths. And go again until you can't go any further. If you've overindulged during isolation, or you're just starting out and it's 1 sit-up, 3 deep breaths, 1 sit-up, 3 deep breaths until the timer goes, then that's how it is, and that's progress, okay? Keep going until the spaces where you need breaths are shorter and the duration that you're doing sit-ups is longer, and eventually you'll get to your 1 minute. Also, I am going to show you some variations at the end that are going to be quite a good deal more difficult and work slightly different abdominal muscles. This is our standard, this is our meat and potatoes of our core exercises that all boxers do, that you can do every day. Abdominal muscles are quite unique in the fact that they don't need a rest. You can work them every day. Okay, here we go. Here we go with our timer, 1 minute. Let's go. Exhaling as I'm coming up. Only bringing my hands up to the tops of my knees, not coming up any further, definitely not doing this sort of thing, pulling ourselves up. That's not doing a sit up, that's just sitting up. Okay. There's our minute. Now for some variation. Okay, variations on that theme of sit-ups, bicycle crunches. I'm going to bring the opposite, one elbow to the opposite knee while stretching those legs out. Okay, so, and said to be 20% more effective than regular sit-ups and probably about 30% harder. So if you're breezing through that first minute of sit-ups, definitely try them. Another variation is V-ups. Can put a little bit of strain on the lower back, so just be careful and build up to it if you've got some lower back problems. Nice and straight like a board, and I'm going to bring palms of my hands up to my toes, and down again. I might edit that one out. Okay, next exercise for core work, and particularly those twisting uppercuts and hook style punches, is going to be wood chops. As the name suggests, it's just like chopping wood. If you've actually got an axe and you can go out and chop some wood, you probably don't need any instruction on it. But if you don't, and you've got some access to a couple of basic weights, or none at all, and I'll go over all of them. I've got an old log splitter here, sledgehammer, axe, anything like that. Be mindful of the kids, of course, and that classic one. We'll do 1 minute one side, 1 minute the other. You can see me, if I'm using the axe, I'm rotating through the hips and bringing it down. And what I mean by this goes over the shoulder, see that wide grip, and down Okay, that's the working part of the exercise, both bringing it up, turning into it, up and down. Most of you aren't going to have these, and those that do probably already know how to use them. So we'll move along. Good old-fashioned medicine ball. This one happens to have some handles for your Russian twists. So for this, up past your shoulder, arms as straight as you can get them to lock them out, and twisting down. Back up and twisting down. We do 1 minute one side, then we do 1 minute the other side. Up and twisting down. Those that don't have either, you can grab yourself half a house brick, something heavy from the cupboard, a couple of kilo bags of flour, maybe old milk container, fill it up with 2 litres of water or whatever it can take, because there's a couple of kilos there. Also, if you don't have anything at all, or you're not up to it, which is still building up to it, hands together, get the technique right, up here and down. Up and chop down, okay? I'm now going to go through a minute, hopefully in good form on both sides, and show you how it's done. I'm going to do it empty-handed because we can all do that, and if you can do it with no equipment, you'll be able to do it with equipment. Okay, folks, here goes our minute. Do it along with me. Hands that grasp and exhaling on that downward stroke. Posture nice and upright and strike. Posture nice and upright, strike and turn into it. And now let's go to the other side. I'm going to move a little closer to the camera so you can see my feet twisting. No, I'm going to move a little back further from the camera so hopefully you can see my feet twisting. And exhale with a strike, and exhale with a strike. Okay, that was Woodshops. Stay tuned, I'm going to show you a couple of variations on that. Okay, variation number 1, doing the opposite, starting from down and striking up. Up, and a really good one for the core and for those oblique muscles is straight out, twist to the center, snap it back to the center, out, snap it back to the center, out, snap it back to the center. Okay, you can combine all 3 of these exercises or all of these variations and do 1 minute classic wood chops per side, 1 minute reverse or golf swings, but we'll still call them wood chops, and 1 minute out. Now with all of them, arms, the further your arms are away from your body, the more work you'll get through your core as it tries to bring you back to stability. So definitely keep that good, nice form, whether you've got weight or no weight. Don't rush it. Form's more important than weight. Okay, and that was Woodshops. Thank you. Shadow boxing. What is it? Why should I do it? Why do I keep ramming it down your throat? How do I do it? Why should you do it? Because I said so. No, but seriously. Why should you do it? Because it adds mental discipline. It perfects skill. It's a good cardio workout. It requires zero equipment, but it does require mental discipline, and I'm all about that. In the 21st century, where there's gadgets and pieces of equipment to do everything for you, it's producing lazy fighters. You go to the gym and you think you're working out. I think if you're using lots and lots of equipment, you're taking the lazy, easy way out. Shadow boxing requires you to think, it requires you to visualize, and it requires you to maintain focus. All of these are so important for a boxer, for an athlete, right across the board, whether we're talking swimming or anything else. These are all important aspects of any sport. How should you do it? There's a couple of different ways, and we'll go through two very important ways today. The first is slow and perfecting technique. So I will spend a minute going through some shadow boxing, and we'll get in our stance, and nice and slowly we will go through the combinations with jab, straight, roll under, and it doesn't matter if you get those punches wrong as long as you're throwing punches. But what I want you to do is think about the muscles that are working and your footwork, okay? This is an ideal time to practice that footwork, get everything attuned. There's no pads you have to hit particularly hard. Nobody's standing next to you judging you, because I know we all have egos, so even though every gym says leave it at the door, and every gym is right to say that, what makes us humans means we can't always empty out all the ego, so we still want to hit those pads that extra bit hard. We're still going for strength and power. You're doing this on your own. I can't see you. This is your mental discipline part, okay? We're going to go through a lot of different combinations, and we're going to move around. I'll move back so you can see my feet a little bit, and we'll advance, and you'll keep your arms in tight, and we'll box without a partner, okay? That's the first way to do it. Nice and slow, perfecting the technique, getting the movements right, so you learn how slow and correct will become fast and correct. The second way to do it is like you're actually sparring, okay? So this will be free form. I won't be guiding you, I won't be telling you what punches to throw or when to throw them. You'll do it yourself, and we'll be doing that in real time, at a real pace, and your heart rate will be up, and don't be surprised if you have to sit down for a rest and go, oh, that was like doing a round of sparring, okay? And if you don't do that, then maybe ramp up the intensity, because that's what we're aiming for. So what we want from that second style of shadow boxing is real fast, moving in real time, visualizing an opponent, maybe one that you've fought, maybe one that you want to fight, maybe one of the greats of history. This particular technique, despite what you're thinking of it at home, was used by Ali during his isolation when they took his boxing license off him when he refused to go to the Vietnam War. And his trainer would put up old reel slides of greats like Rocky Marciano, and Ali would stand in front of the projector and go, well, if you threw that at me, I'd double jab you, and I'd move back and I'd uppercut. And when his isolation period was over, which lasted more than 6 months, I think it was closer to a decade, he came back and won all 3 of his world titles again. So if you think you're too good for shadow boxing, have you finished thinking about that? You're not, so let's get to it. Round 1 of shadow boxing, perfecting technique, slow and correct will become fast and correct. Jab, stepping forward on both those jabs. Moving back, getting some space, advancing on the jab, jab. Now our guard's up, straight right, twisting through the hip and back again. Roll under, left hook. Retreat. Advance, pivot off to your right, straight right, left hook, roll back to center, double jab out. Now we're going to do this on the other side. Advance in with the double jab, straight right, step across for a left hook, although you can barely see me, straight right, roll back, left, right, left uppercut, right uppercut, left hook, jab out. Double jab in, straight right, jab out. Take a step back as though we're dodging a punch and come back with a right. Straight right, back, left hook. Okay, roll under, left hook, right uppercut. Jab out, we don't want to stand there for too long. Step off to the side, straight right, left hook, back, straight right, left hook, hook, straight. 1, 2, 3, uppercut, uppercut, hook, out. Roll off to the side, straight right, left hook, roll back to center. We're coming to the end of our 2 minutes. Jab, jab, straight right, hook, jab, jab, straight right. Okay. Now you can do that, excuse me while I turn off the timer. You can do that for 3 rounds, 5 rounds, 10 rounds, whatever you have the discipline to do it for. The more you do it, the more disciplined you'll become and the easier other aspects of boxing will be. Okay, stay tuned. We're going to do one at a fast pace. Okay folks, this is shadow boxing in real time. So I'm visualizing my opponent and I'm going to throw punches. They're going to throw punches back at me. I'm not going to visualize a whitewash where I just roller coaster over the top. No, they present me with challenges. I might get hit, punches might get through. I have to think, okay, it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that in my mind I will overcome. Okay, let's get to it. Remember snapping those punches back. We're doing this in real time, okay? The only difference is there's no target here. Ten seconds, folks. 10 seconds. Let's make it count. And that's shadow boxing with intent. You can do that for 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 rounds too. Okay,